now reached heart disease as the number one reason people go to the doctor, and that's a good sign. Not that it's a sign that depression is increasing, but that people are now acknowledging it and finding a reason to go to their own family doctor. And the other part I was going to say about this is try not only to engage people, but do not identify them solely by, it's just like any other disease, by mental health issues. That's not the only person they are. Right? Michael Landsberg is not defined by his depression. He has it, but he's not defined by it.
Yeah, the thing that I think, thought about when we were talking to Clara Hughes was the idea of battling through as someone who might not have the support staff of a professional athlete or an Olympic athlete. And that's why
there's more eyes on that person. I'll give you that.
That's why I think this topic is so meaningful to so many people, is because there are people who slip through the cracks and you don't realize, and you need to have the conversations regardless of, we're a sports station. Regardless of whether or not it's your athletic status, what team you play for, how many family members you have. You could be a single parent. You could be a kid that doesn't know your dad. You could be any kind of family situation. Still have the conversation. There's never a point where it's not worth having that conversation because, I don't deserve to. Everyone deserves to have the conversation. That's why the hashtag is
That's a big part. I don't deserve.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
Right? Bell Let's Talk is about having conversations, as I mentioned with Michael there. It's not about Bell Let's Do. You're going to do great things. You're going to put plans in action. There's going to be policies that are going to help people with mental health awareness, but you just have to have the conversation to start, and that's what this day is all about. And that's what gets it started. And I think you got to watch out for certain things. You're just 6 months off campus, but one of the hidden places where mental illness happens is in the first year of college because you're away. Nobody knows you, and it's exactly opposite of what you just mentioned. That's a really good point you make about sports. When there aren't eyes on you. Yeah, it's
when there aren't eyes that know you and see something that says that is a warning sign. So if you have children at university, and this is a university town, pay attention.
Yeah, certainly. And again, first year, whether or not you're an athlete or you have a support system there, just a lot of people going off to school. I mean, that's tough. It's the same thing as if you travel for work.
Yeah, exactly.
It happens quick.
And you're alone. And a great number of us can handle that kind of thing, but there's a certain percentage that really, really affects, and it can be people who never showed any other sign prior to coming. So I don't think it's about the parents now that I think about it. I think it's about the classmates. Pay attention. I mean, you don't know these people yet, but just pay attention.
Bell Let's Talk continues throughout the evening. Let you know right now, congratulations. The Niagara River Lions tickets going to Joe Perry, and the Hamilton Bulldogs going to Margaret Entwistle coming down this evening. Going right into take two, are we, Louie? Firing it up. Sneaking it in on me here. We'll dig into it right now. Do we have a stump to Steve today, or are we just going to let her go?
You know what? We really don't have time.
Okay, great.
All right.
Can I give you a couple answers?
We only have time for two.
Hey, Louie, let me give you a couple answers. You come up with a question, okay?
Sorry.
Here's the answer. Pete Carroll, and it has to do with today.
Was it on this day he was hired?
It was on day somebody was hired. And who?
Pete Carroll? I don't know.
Bill Parcells. He was the Patriots coach before the Parcells. How about that?
There you
go.
Louis
cut him off.
Wow, Louis did cut him off. All right, let's get to take two here. We got time for just two of them, maybe 1.5. We'll see how it goes down today. The first one for you, gentlemen. Baseball in London. Major League Baseball is looking to expand its horizons, particularly overseas. Commissioner Rob Manfred told the Associated Press that the league is hoping to play its first regular season games in London in 2017. The move would be congruent with other international moves by the league, such as streaming games in China, as well as 2 spring training games in Mexico City this upcoming season. He said, we're very interested in playing there, and we're working very hard on trying to make that happen. My question is, why are all the major sports leagues trying to go to London? Like, why is London a baseball target?
Because it's one of the richest cities in the world. It is, the second most expensive city in the world to live in. Money. New market. They've done new platforms. They've found new income streams. But what they haven't had is found enough of is new places to play that can generate big money. And that one seems simple to me. But if I'm Londoners, I feel a bit victimized here. I feel like it's got some kind of economic target on my back.
Yeah, you enjoy the quick introduction to all of these sports, and to have the major leagues come, it's got to be fun. I mean, when we have teams from the EPL play over here, everyone goes crazy because it's different and it's fun. But at the same time, are they going to stay? Is it sustainable? Are they going to put a team in there? No. So it's like, I don't understand what the goal is to take these games overseas. Yes, you want to make it marketable. Maybe they tune in and watch games, but by the time that you play, an afternoon game, that's the evening. If you're playing a game after a 4 o'clock Eastern start in baseball in the summer,
such a waste of time.
It's the middle
Can
of
I
the
just
night
say
over
this?
there.
The London series in general, I don't care what sport it is, it's a waste of time. I don't care.
Baseball
North
does-
America has their own leagues. England, the UK, Europe has their own leagues. It's fine. Just leave it alone. Why do we have to... this is an anti-globalization.
Yeah.
But they're separate things. You don't see... Well, I don't know. I guess soccer teams do come over here, but I think it's...
But they're all one games, Louis.
really-
It has to be, to make baseball work, it's
really
got to be
not.
serious. It's not
It
going to work.
does.
It's not going to work in a place that doesn't have it.
Stay in Hong Kong, wherever you have your games.
There it is. That's what they're trying to do. Take the money and run. You're such an isolationist, Louis.
That's by the Steve
That's
Milton
true.
Band, isn't it?
Can't believe
You
it.
have time for half of an
Half a
answer.
All right, half of this one. Here we
so-
go. Goodbye, Kelvin is the next one possible here. With the Detroit Lions asking Kelvin Johnson to make a decision pretty early on in free agency here so that they can decide whether or not they're going to move on from their star receiver. If he does decide to retire, as he's been discussing kind of quietly but pretty openly in the media throughout the Detroit region, if he does leave, he would leave them pretty thin at the receiver position behind Golden Tate, and adding to the position in free agency, the 2016 draft, or both, would obviously become a pretty quick necessity for their new general manager and Bob Quinn, who came over from the Patriots personnel department. Fair or foul is the question, gentlemen, to ask your best player to rush a life and franchise-changing decision.
Fair.
In order to fit your needs.
Fair.
Completely fair, and I think if there's anything Randy Moss has taught us, it's that wide receivers can unretire. It's really not the end of the world, especially the NFL. The NFL is a sport where you unretire more easily than you retire.
Well, plus
it's-
this is the franchise that had Barry Sanders with still at the top walk.
Yeah,
right?
so they know what it's like to have
yes,
somebody walk out
exactly.
on
So
them.
the flip of this should be true. Also, it's just I don't agree with it, but it's fair because that's the way the NFL is now. It's cruel.
Yeah, I agree that it's cruel, and I agree that it's best for the organization. But when you have the statistics that he has, maybe there's a reason why people in Detroit keep leaving early. Maybe it's a reason that the way that the franchise is run, because you don't understand that you're being treated correctly and you don't feel like you're being supported. Yeah, he made a bunch of money. He never really won anything, and that wears down a player. If you're a guy that's coming out this year in free agency or in the draft, and you see one of the best receivers to ever be in that franchise's history leave the team early because he's just not feeling it and he's been banged up a little bit, why would you sign there as a free agent? You would have a negative perception of that organization, especially if they made him make that decision pretty early on. I think that's the backside of this that we might not appreciate all that much, is it just paints the organization in a negative light.
I think what they're trying to say is we've changed.
They've moved on. They're ready to do their own thing. Our final
Ladies and gentlemen,
poll
it is
update for the
quitting
day.
time.
Louis, did you learn anything today as I update the poll?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Final poll update. 73% of you say that the Denver Broncos should not want Peyton Manning back. What you learned today, mental health awareness is incredibly important. That's what I learned, and we should use this day as a way to create awareness year-round. What you missed, the Bulls forward Nikola Mirotic is out until after the All-Star weekend after undergoing appendectomy today. That's crazy because Joakim Noah is already out, and we don't know what Derrick Rose is going to be like in the near future. What you need to know, the Spurs, coming off a 30-point loss to the Warriors, are 6-0 and outscoring opponents by nearly 20 points per game after a loss this season. What to watch tonight? Sports! Why not? Steve, what did you learn today?
Well, I learned what I already knew. Clara Hughes is one of my favorite people on
She
the earth.
is awesome.
She did how many interviews today
Yeah.
and texted me about 20 minutes ago to say, thank you, it was great to talk to the people at Hamilton.
That's fantastic. Thanks to our guests.
Great NBA games on tonight.
Oh, yeah. There's
the
tons.
Mavericks, the
The
Warriors.
Mavs Warriors is going to be a good one.
I think they lose. I'm calling it.
Dirk hit a
I
buzzer
think-
beater last night against the Lake Show.
I think the Warriors lose.
I think so, too.
Wow, way to piggyback on my bold prediction. So tomorrow when you come in at 4 o'clock and be like,
You know what?
I called it.
No, actually, I'll go the other way on this. Warriors by 40.
I think the Spurs also lose at home.
You think, to who?
Ooh.
They got Houston.
Oh, you're funny. You're
James Harden?
You're funny.
James
I
Harden
even
and-
wrote
So
it in my
you're talking
diary.
about two teams trying to make a statement here, Dallas and Houston, right?
Houston and Dallas.
that need
Couple
to,
of teams
that need
from
to make a move.
Texas.
I think you're 0 for 2 in the
Bold prediction
and the
category?
the combined scores of those games are Warriors and Spurs by a combined 60 points. That's what I say.
No, what's his name, though?
No,
Tim
Timmy
Duncan
D?
again.
That's fine. He doesn't actually do anything anymore. Thanks to our guests, Claire Hughes and Michael Landsberg, on this Bell Let's Talk Day. Twitter and Facebook is at Marsh and Milton. I'm at TSN_Marsh. Tip-off of Thursday's Marsh and Milton is in 21 hours between now and then. Don't forget that today is Bell Let's Talk Day, but that doesn't mean tomorrow can't bring about the same awareness and conversations. Cheers, Hamilton.